real confidence isn't what you think. It isn't always the loudest person in the room, the one who knows the most people. I watched a video once, people who were about to pass, and one of the biggest regrets commonly said was they wish they didn't care so much about what people think. And it's crazy because I think we all know this, but we really don't put it into practice on a daily basis, which we end up carrying this weight of caring too much about what people think about us and resulting in wasting time, the only valuable asset that we really have and that we can never get back. Now, let's get into 10 tips that are going to empower you to feel true confidence. A lot of times, some of you have asked me, how do I feel confident? Because I know that I should be confident and I feel empowered, but maybe the second I leave my house, it all goes out the window and I feel really insecure. Well, let me let you in on a secret first. That's normal. It's not awkward until you make it awkward, right? First thing is you need to give yourself some evidence of courage, examples that you can remember for yourself. Give yourself the evidence. A lot of times we're not confident because we haven't tried anything new. We haven't stepped out of our house. We haven't tried that new project. We haven't launched that business. And this is why I talk about why failure is your friend, not your enemy, because the faster that you can fail, the faster you will actually build confidence too. To try things and then to fail at them, even if it sucks in the moment, I guarantee you the next time you encounter a similar situation, you're gonna feel a little bit more confident. Maybe a lot, but at least a little bit more confident. You need to start trying new things. And the more that you do it over time and repeat it, you will consistently build that confidence muscle. And you get to a point where you no longer put so much weight on what other people think of you. I'm not saying you won't feel insecure at times, but you won't let that be the deciding factor of whether you do something or not. You'll feel it, but you'll do it anyway. And that is a beautiful process. The second tip, learning how to detach from validation. This was a huge one for me, especially as a creator, which I know a lot of you out there watching may be, but if you're not, this still applies. Validation is so important because I would argue we're all on the internet these days and we pretty much all have a personal brand. If we have a page where we're sharing our business, our life, a story, whatever it being, our personality, there's a lot of pressure to be validated by our peers, by the people who know us, the people we work with, our family even. There is a way to detach from that validation. And I think that's probably been one of my biggest projects personally this year, is learning how to detach from that need to feel externally validated. It's not easy, but start practicing saying, I don't care, and actually stick to that feeling. So for example, me wanting to vlog, let's say I go on a shopping haul. I tell myself before I get out of the car, I don't need external validation. I'm doing what I love and I give myself permission to do that in public, right? And I stick to it because it takes practice, but we have to recite those type of things to ourselves mentally to build that mental strength before we go into that new situation. Another example is I learned how to detach from followers, likes, comments, all of that. There's so much pressure as a creator, especially to have the most engagement, to have the most followers. And while I know that those are important milestones that of course we're going to celebrate along the way, I do realize that that's not the reason why I started sharing my journey. That's not the reason why I started sharing content, skills, all that stuff. Maybe for some people it was the reason, and that's something you're going to want to revisit and ask yourself why, and if you need to pivot. Because I know when I first started sharing my journey on TikTok, for example, I was a makeup artist sharing tips because during lockdown I felt like I couldn't be creative because everything was locked down. So I found a new place for me to share what I was already loving to do, and then became a full-time creator. And now I have to remind myself a lot that the reason why I started was to connect with other people, to share my gifts with the world, because I do believe that God, a higher source, whatever resonates with you, put us all here with a purpose. And I feel really proud to live my purpose out loud and to be able to share my experiences here on YouTube, you know, and that's going to look different for everyone depending on what you feel passionate or called to. But learn to detach from the outcome. This is going to be so useful not only for confidence, but in everything, in your success when you set goals. But start practicing phrases, whatever feels right for you, to learn how to detach from things. Detach from people liking you. When you like yourself, people can feel that. And you don't have to try to win people over in public settings, in conversations, in relationships. You just have this calm confidence energy, knowing that you are enough and they are an addition to your life. You are valuable. You are an asset. Okay, the next point I want to make is stop judging other people. You know what I noticed? I noticed that the people who gossip the most about other people are the most paranoid that other people are gossiping about them. Why is that? Because what we do to others, we feel people are doing to us. I know, crazy, right? So when you judge other people, whether it be jokingly or not, you are gonna think that other people are judging you. And maybe they are, because it's an energy that attracts that energy. This has been really challenging at times because growing up in a family where gossip was so normalized, I personally don't align with that. Practice not judging people and you'll become less and less worried about what other people think about you. Because if you know that you're acting from a place of love too, it's never your loss. It's never your loss. You can't do wrong if you're genuinely speaking from a place of love. I believe that. You know, yes, we may not always agree with one another, but if I'm coming from a place of love, I truly believe that if something ended up not working out, even if I acted from a place of love, then it just wasn't a right fit. And there was nothing I could have done to prevent that. Break the cycle and start celebrating people, and you will be surprised how much better you will feel about yourself. There's an unshakable confidence in being able to clap for other people, especially when you're not doing well. Your value isn't being threatened, and that's where that inner confidence comes from. Next, realize that you don't need to fix anything about yourself. I think a lot of times we have this misconception that if we change certain aspects of ourselves, that again, we'll be more liked. My imperfections, the things that I wanted to fix about myself, that was actually my superpower. For you, what are the things that you want to fix about yourself? Whatever it is that you keep trying to fix about yourself is more than likely your superpower and your uniqueness. And the more that you can lean into that uniqueness, the more confident you're going to be, because you're going to stop trying to hide certain aspects of yourself to be liked. And again, this is part of the people-pleasing bubble. If we keep trying to water down who we really are, embrace the uniqueness that you have. And that is going to lead you to unshakable confidence. I love this next point. One of the best things you can start learning to do, and I probably have said this in so many videos by now, is learning how to say no. Be firm with saying no. Wow. Ever since I discovered learning how to say no, I want to say it more often. Time is an asset. Society often teaches us to put ourselves last, especially women. Learn how to say no. That's not for me. No, thank you. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how empowering it is, how confident you will feel to turn things down, especially in situations like one thing I learned how to say no to, brand deals that just don't align with me. I have been offered and turned down thousands of dollars because I genuinely in my gut did not feel comfortable talking about those things. I want my integrity. I want to sleep at night. Remember, your time and your standards do matter. Own your own opinion, because nowadays everyone starts to say the same things, dress the same, but own your own opinions, okay? I have a personal example on this. I think I'm the only person on this planet who doesn't watch Love Island. I don't have anything bad to say about it because I honestly just have never watched it, but it's just, it doesn't seem to interest me. When everyone's talking about something, it's so hard to own your opinion against the grain because you feel, again, that pressure. If you don't conform to the majority, people aren't gonna like you, they're not gonna approve you, therefore you're gonna live a miserable life. Not true. I'm surviving without Love Island, and look, if someone's gonna judge me for not watching a show, I can live without that. Be okay with being different. Whatever it is, if you feel confident in your perspective about something, own it. That's going to give you a lot of confidence too, because you're learning to give yourself that validation instead of needing it from an outside source. Lean into your fears. Whatever scares you, do it anyway. There's nothing that's going to build your confidence more than trying the things that scare you the most. I did a solo trip recently and I was pretty terrified, but when I did it, it really brought back so much confidence into me. You learn how to regulate your own emotions on your own. You learn how to follow your own opinions. You are your own company. Another fear that I had was going to a workout class by myself, At the beginning of this year, I had been asking so many people to come with me, like, hey, do you want to go with me to Pilates? The universe wanted me probably to go through that so I could find the courage to do it myself. The first class was so scary because I've never done reformer Pilates. I felt so good, so confident. And the more that I did that on a regular basis, now I prefer to go alone. Things can change in such a short period of time when you start leaning into your fears. Getting comfortable with silence. Embracing silent pauses, one, gives you the power to reflect on what you're gonna say before you say it, therefore being a little bit more intentional. And then two, it gives you the opportunity to connect with the other person you're talking to. It's okay to pause. You don't have to be the star of the show every time. Listen more than you talk. You will be surprised what you learn. There's something amazing about holding eye contact. I want you to practice this the next time you're talking to someone, but try to hold eye contact. Not in a creepy way, but just when someone's speaking to you, try to hold eye contact. When we're filling up every little gap of silence in a conversation, it's because we're trying to get you to resonate with something we're saying. Just don't try so hard. You don't need to win anyone's opinion. Next is challenge yourself out of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to wearing what you want. Being an individual with your own style, when you start loving your own style, regardless of what anyone thinks about it, that's gonna make you feel confident. Just lean into your own style a little bit. And I feel like it's really empowering to also create your own style and know what pieces make you happy. I want you to, next time you go out, instead of playing it safe, wear that over-the-top dress that you've had or that you've wanted to wear. I don't believe in overdressing. If you like a piece or if you love an outfit or an accessory or a makeup look, give yourself permission to wear that with full confidence. Feel proud of yourself for doing it. Don't be like hiding yourself in the corner and feeling uncomfortable. Like, own it. I want you to try this the next time you wear a bold lipstick or a fun jacket, going with the more over-the-top outfit and wearing it with confidence. And you will see the more that you do this over time, the easier it becomes to genuinely feel confident in your own taste and in your own personality. And the last tip I have is start a win jar. I did this at the beginning of the year and I'm so happy I did. I got an empty jar at the beginning of the new year and decided that every week I'd write something positive, some kind of highlight, something I'm proud of, something I did well, and put it in that jar. Now I have this whole pile of things that I'm so excited to read this New Year's Eve. Start a jar of all your wins. So when you're having a bad day or a down day, just go through that jar and remind yourself, hey, I did that thing. I made that difficult call. I spoke my mind in this meeting, or I got invited to this event. Like, create a place where you can celebrate yourself so that you can go back and revisit that, especially on days when you need that little confidence boost. But by doing this too, you're also reminding yourself of your value and your power and focusing on what your strengths are instead of what's missing. All right, if you made it to the end of the video, comment down below. I am confident. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.